contemplating, your moment has arrived. Lift your head up, stand up tall. No longer can you just survive. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power move. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power move. While winning is just the beginning.
Come on in, everybody. Come on in, everybody. Can you hear me, lady? Can you hear me? Just want to make sure.
Yes.
Awesome. Listen, we keep going with the flow here. Look, trying something a little bit new today with the video.
Listen here. Okay, let's just put a pause because I feel like I need to enlist somebody's services to get me a video for my just my basic social media page, okay? Because I felt like I was watching breaking news, all right? Like breaking, how the news report come on a girl. Listen, y'all.
This is what we are doing, okay? We're elevating, we're trying things new, we're taking a stab at it. This is what we're doing over here. Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves, Mo's Enterprise. Come on in, y'all. We're gonna play that video back
Girl,
in a little bit. But
viewers, she's being all humble, but that was her, okay? That was all her. That was all her. So I'm just gonna hype her up because the video was compliments of the visionary Mone't S. Horton. Okay, so if you need a video done, you know where to go. All right.
We're just testing things out over here. I appreciate you, Lady T. Listen, everybody, if you're wondering where you're at tonight, you're here at Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. My name is Mone't S. Horton, and I'm the visionary and host. And of course, here with my fantabulous co-host, Tiara Parker. Say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday evening this time.
Yes. It's still Monday. Okay. It's just Monday, right?
Oh, shit.
Listen. I'm like, oh my goodness, it is Monday. Welcome in, everybody. Take a moment and come on in the room. It's Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. We are super excited that you came in to join us tonight. This is where we flow. It's not a show, but it's a flow. Yes. When we say flow, we fearlessly level up, overcome, and win. What are you overcoming and what are you winning at right now? Ooh, that's good.
My Lord Jesus. Like, right? I feel like, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I just got yoked up all in one go. Like, it was just like yoked up twice, if I'm being honest. Like, okay.
Listen, that's what it is. Look, sometimes we need that accountability. Somebody to just yoke us up, bring us back into the realization of what we're really here for. And that's what we're about here at Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. So that's a question. It's just not one of those questions we just throwing out there where they say rhetorical questions that we learned in school. But I want you to answer that tonight. What are you fearlessly leveling up, overcoming, and winning in? As you're coming in tonight, take a moment to click and share. We're excited that you are here with us this evening. Definitely, I know that there's going to be some nuggets that's going to help you to propel you to take action in your life, if not only to take a moment and assess where you are so that you can move the needle to get to the next. Sometimes we're so into, and let me just talk about myself, ready to get to the next, but we don't sit in the now.
Yeah.
We don't, and that is not to say that we don't strategically plan,
right,
for the next move, but are you really present in this moment? Or are you asking for the next thing, the next move, the next win?
And it's so funny that you say that, because I feel like there are people like you, right? Because you just self-identify with that, right?
Yeah.
But then there are people like me who stay in the now too long.
Ooh.
So you can bask in the now and appreciate the now and be grateful for the now, right? But sometimes that win, we get so comfortable with that win that we're not planning the steps forward. So I feel like it's a two-sided coin.
That's good, T.
Now, the
The
Lord is
question,
doing the work on me, okay?
yeah.
But if I'm, if we're being honest, because I feel like the only way for growth is to be transparent and honest with yourself first, right? So I feel like it's a two-sided coin. So either you're too quick to move forward or you're too slow to move forward.
Wow. You know what? This is good. See, you all get the best of both worlds here. Because you have two uniquely created ladies, young women, right? Who are on both, we're on both ends of the spectrum.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think at any given time we might be close up, right? But at some other times we may be at two, so you get two different perspectives. And that's so good. You have someone who sits in the now, maybe a little bit too long. And me, I'm like, listen, I just did this thing.
Check. Next.
I'm checking it off. I'm checking my list and I'm checking it twice. Okay. And I'm moving on to the next.
I'm like, oh, that's great. Oh, well, I don't have to do that right away. I can just, like, that was just so good. I just want to bask in this for a minute. And there's nothing wrong with basking in it for a minute, but a minute can turn into a month, and then a month can turn into 2, and then 2 turns into 6. And then now, you're asking the Lord for something, and the Lord is like, you haven't done the thing that I asked you to do before. So just, listen, sometimes you got to talk to yourself. Okay.
No, really. And so as you all are joining tonight, and I see you all, hey Sharon, hey Apostle, Catherine, I see you all ladies out there tonight, and all the ones who are coming in and chiming in. Shout out to you. We love you. We appreciate your support. Take a moment to click and share. But we want you, as we're asking each other and holding each other accountable, we want you to hold yourself accountable, right? And ask yourself this question right now. What are you, where are you at, first of all, on that spectrum? Are you one who sits in the now too long when God said, or just, it's time to move? You've exhausted everything here and it's time to move to the next. Or are you one who, like me, may, once I finish one thing in the now, I'm going on to the next thing. Or are you in between? It depends on what the situation is. But you want to self-identify yourself.
Yes. Let me tell you, one of the biggest things I would say over the last year that I've talked to my family about over and over again is you want to know yourself so well that nobody can tell you about you. Because when you don't know you, the enemy uses what you don't know about you, or the things that you are in denial of about yourself, right? And so a lot of times I feel like we stay stuck, we stay hurt, we stay in that place of trauma, we stay unhealed because we are not honest with ourselves about ourselves. And how can we ever expect to move forward, to grow, to heal, to walk in the fullness of all that God has for us if we are not first honest with ourselves about ourselves? Because nobody should be able to do that for you. That's something that you should be able to do for yourself. And then somebody come to you and say, I noticed such and such, and you're like, I know I was talking to the Lord and I had that revelation a month ago. Like, and not to sound, not to be smart or rude, but you want to be in such a relationship with the Lord so that he can reveal these things to you, and you're not depending on people to tell you about you. So that when somebody speaks something wrong over you, you can rebuke it and be like, I understand maybe where you're coming from, but that's not me, and I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Yeah. You have that's wild that you're saying that, because I was thinking about that today and how we have to be so mindful of when we allow people to inflict their thoughts, their opinions, their whatever their way of think whatever on us.
Yes.
And have you ever, for example, been in such a flow and kind of just going on and you're focused on everything, your goals, getting things done, and maybe someone sends a text, or maybe someone maybe someone called you, maybe you're watching something on Facebook, social media, or however it comes in. And whatever the message is that hits you, whether they're on the phone, whether they're sending it on the device, whether it is subliminal, it's online. It's almost like that thing is to you, and you can internalize it, or however, or take it on in such a way that when you go back to return to whatever you were doing, it's almost like your mind went here, your mind went there.
Your flow is now disrupted.
You're now disrupted. So in a way, it's allowing, it's like you just opened up a door, a gateway.
That part. You better say that thing.
You've allowed someone in, and they've been able to creep in. Unwanted thoughts, unwanted emotions, unwanted feelings, unwanted,
and false. And false. Because the thing about it is that a lot of times they're not even true. The thing that has us all pent up and feeling all low, a lot of times it's not even true. But it will have us in the bed, not wanting to pull the covers back because we are ruminating over something that someone said to us or about us that is inaccurate. And I don't know who this is for, but let me tell you something. Just because they are your blood does not mean that they know you better than the Lord does. Just because they are your blood does not mean they get to say the things that they say to you and it's okay. Just because they are your blood does not mean that what they say is the end all and be all and that it's truth. You have a relationship with the Lord. The Lord told you about you. So if it doesn't align with what he told you about you, then you can dismiss it as false. Sometimes we have to love those that the Lord blessed us with from a distance. Sometimes love is loving somebody from a distance, because sometimes when you let people up close, they do not mean you well, and you are harming yourself by keeping them close. So you have to ask yourself, if having you close hurts me, then why am I here, and why am I allowing you here with me? It's okay to let go. It's okay not to answer the phone. It's okay to hit the red button. You pay your bill. Just because you have a phone does not mean you are required to answer it. Just because a text message comes through does not mean you are required to reply. We live in a world where people have this expectation of a quick reply, a reply period. And if you don't reply right away, then they are offended. They have an attitude.
You're talking good.
You pay your bill. You know what's good for you and what's not. And sometimes people just need to be silenced. Sometimes people need to be blocked. sometimes context just need to be erased altogether, but that's between you and the Lord. All I'm saying is, just because you were connected at one point in time does not mean that you need to still be connected.
My goodness. Listen, Lady T done spoke a whole lot, okay? Y'all coming in, come on in the room, click and share. Y'all, we are flowing in the conversation tonight. The question is, what are you fearlessly leveling up, overcoming, and winning in right now? How are you flowing right now? And if you're not flowing, we see the comments. We're going to go down the comments tonight because we want you to be able to move. So if you're stuck, if you're holding on to people, places, and things, if you have not released them, because what Lady T just said is that it's so true. Y'all, we have to take inventory seriously of what is zapping your energy, what's around you, what's around you, what's pulling on you. You have to take inventory of your environment.
Yes.
The people, again, the places, the things. If it's your home, if it's in your job, if it's the people, your family. Listen, just because it's a bloodline doesn't mean that the line has to be maintained.
Listen.
In that way. We're not saying cut people off and throw them to the world. No, we're not saying that. But you know what we're saying in terms of if it's not serving you, if it's not in alignment with where you are right now, where you're going, you have people who are pulling you back away from what God is saying about your purpose, your life, and the direction you're like. You know, when people are not, they're where you was, where you were.
That part, girl, that part. And I'm so glad that you said that and you broke that down, because you said when it's no longer serving you, and then you said when it's not in alignment with the path that God has you on. See, because this whole not serving you thing has become a worldly, just like blurb, right? And so I think people use it as, oh, well, this relationship is not beneficial. No. Let's
pull it back.
When we say not serving you, we mean not serving you in the spiritual sense. Did the Lord tell you to let them go? Did the Lord say, because just because the world says it does, we can't abide by that, because that's not how we operate. We have to operate in spirit and not in flesh. Because if that were the case, if we were operating in flesh, a lot of us wouldn't have any connections, okay? I mean, if we're going to be real about it, let's just be honest.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so, in terms of, and you're right, we're not just again saying just throw people away. You still hear me? Not sure if there's a
oh yeah, I can hear you.
But you have people sometimes who, yes, Apostle Parker, you said silence noises, and they're silent assassins. You have people who are around you who are really not for you. Those are the ones that, yes, you want to be prayerful, maybe for you. Our flesh can send us other ways, right? And when we say flesh, in your natural man, in your human nature, and our human nature. Listen, one thing about Mone't, I can cut real quick. Okay. Listen, I must tell the truth. All I will do is tell the truth, y'all. But listen, I will cut if I see. Listen, it does not. I'd be like, Jesus. I'd be like, Lord, help me take the wheel, because you know your daughter. But but because I'm so serious about my peace, maintaining my peace, when and my sanity, when I've worked so hard to develop a lifestyle of ease and flow, not in mo, but ease and flow in the things of God, and in ministry, in marketplace, in my business, in community, all of those things. And I take relationships very seriously, right? And so we must monitor those things. I was in my devotions today, and I took some notes, and it says, fix your mind and you will fix your life.
Woo. Mm.
Fix your mind and you will fix your life. We have to literally have our armor on, Lady T, right?
Yes.
And think about our lives. We are literally in the days, right? It's so much going on in our world. It's so much literally going on in the earth right now that will cause you to be distracted. People are losing jobs. People are losing family members. That's been happening. But now on an all-time high, another level.
Yes.
Our government. It's so many things that we can pray for, right? But prayer alone, when we finish praying, we must get up and take action.
Yes. Faith without works is dead.
It's dead as a doorknob, right? And so when you get the downloads, when you pray, if you don't, that's a call to prayer, right? That's what the word says. If my people will call by my name, would humble themselves and pray, turn, you got to turn, right? That takes action. And so, but with that being said, in a world where so much stuff is going on, we have to guard our minds and our hearts, all of those things, because if not, we can get clouded, fuzzy, anxious. And the word says, be anxious for nothing, right? But with prayer supplication, make your request known. Right. And so let me just talk about me again. Look, I'm about to say this week, and we just on Monday, right? Listen, I had to literally sit down for a second. I said, wait a minute, hold on. No, you will not be overwhelmed. You will not become anxious, but you will stand in your authority. You will decree and declare not what you see, but what you want to see. What that is, right? Because we have the authority to do that. So I have to consistently remind myself in order to say, this is one of the ways, y'all, I stay in the flow. This is how I am able to fearlessly level up, overcome, and win, is by keeping my mind aligned on the right things.
Absolutely. And we have to speak those things as though they were.
Yep.
Just because we can't see it, just speak it. And you will eventually speak it into it being so.
Yeah.
And it was something you said, about us being cloudy, right? When we focus on the wrong things, right? See, and that's where the enemy wants us, cloudy. He wants us cloudy because when we're cloudy, when we aren't clear, we can't hear from God the way we're supposed to. Our discernment is off. Our ability to see things in the spiritual is off. Our ability to feel things in the spiritual is off. Your gifting will be off because you're cloudy. In order for us to operate at our highest spiritual selves, we need to be clear. But the enemy loves when we're cloudy, and he's going to play on that. And I saw this post the other day that said, when you realize that you're no longer in your, basically you're no longer in baby faith, you realize how real the spiritual realm is.
That
because when you're in baby faith and you haven't really experienced anything yet and you're still learning, right, you don't see it as clearly. Baby, when you graduate,
you're like, oh, that thing.
Graduate and you start reading your word and you start spending time with the Lord and you're operating in your gifting and you talking to the Lord every day and you're praying every day, and then you walk into a room and you're like, whoa, what is this I feel in my spirit?
You'll be able to discern, to detect, to observe, and sometimes you may begin. I know for me in the beginning, it's like, did I really see what I just saw? But yes, you did. Yes, you. One thing I learned is that, baby, you were seeing that clearly.
Okay.
And it's not for you to go and run and tell anybody, but
Mhm.
God, that means He's giving you insight.
That part. That
He's
part.
giving you visibility. He is giving you downloads. He is allowing you to see what others are not seeing.
Yes.
And that means that you are what? He said you are uniquely made and formed. That listen, don't question it. But that's a
Honey.
part of your identity. That is a part of knowing and becoming,
Mm,
who He said that we are, as opposed to what others say
that
that
part.
that we are.
That part.
And so, everybody, as you're coming in tonight, again, we're talking about what are you flowing in right now? Flow for us again means to fearlessly level up, overcome, and win. And Lady T, how about this? You want to take a moment and look at these? Let's look at our comments
Yes.
that are out tonight. We see y'all out there tonight. Welcome in, welcome in. When we pose this question of what are you flowing in right now, and listen, we've talked about so much already, so we got to take a backtrack, right?
No, seriously.
But I think it was no. Apostle Catherine T. Parker. She said, but when you don't work but when it doesn't work anymore, I believe that she said. So when the things that I think we asked the question about, what was that question? When you shift or something, or how do you know? Because you said that you are one who sits in it, maybe
Mm-hmm.
too long, and I
Right.
was on.
Right.
I think she's saying here that for her, it's when it doesn't work anymore. That's when she knows when to shift and
Mm-hmm.
keep on.
Yeah.
Let us know if that's right, Apostle Parker. And then Sharon, welcome, welcome, welcome in, lady. She said that I sit and stay stuck like a sticky pad. Wait a minute, Sharon, we not laughing. But listen, this is your realness, right? Thank you for being vulnerable and being
Mm-hmm.
transparent tonight. Because now listen to your analogy, right? I sit and stay stuck like a sticky pad.
I've been there. So I can
Yeah.
relate.
But a sticky pad, like on one side, like with a sticky pad, it has the sticky on both sides, right? Well, one of it depends on which one you have, but they have some other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But if we end up staying in a place too long, sometimes we can cling and bring others with us
Mm-hmm.
too. It's so many ways you can take that too, right?
And then sometimes if you stay too long, you leave residue. You leave
Ooh.
residue of the person that you are in the moment and not the person that God is calling you to be.
Mm.
So you're not even operating at your full self. When we are in that stuck place, that sunken place, we're not operating at our full self. So when we stay there too long, we're leaving residue of who a part of ourselves. Not even we're not even operating at our fullest capacity.
Wow. Yeah, that's good, lady. That's good. Um, what I'm thinking about there is that, listen, to that point is that we bear fruit, but it's not good fruit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is your fruit, is it
Oof,
spoiled?
Lord Jesus.
Like, is your fruit spoiled? Is it good?
Baby, because I feel
Is
like
it
that could be a
rocking and
whole
royal?
nother. Ooh, child.
You
Oh,
know,
because mm,
if you all are wondering why we're having this conversation today, it's because you know that we are adamant about movement, but we
mhm,
want the right movement,
yes,
intentional movement. We want you to be empowered to take action, strategic
yes,
action to move your life forward. We're right here embedded in the month of Black History Month right now.
mhm,
And there are so many individuals, oh my goodness, phenomenal men and women who have gone before us and blazed the trail In
Yes.
order for them to have blazed the trail, they had to shake up and shake off doubt, self doubt,
Mm-hmm.
fear,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety, the need or the desire to be stuck, right? Maybe they didn't desire to be stuck, but they had to shake off being stuck. So that
Mm-hmm.
because they knew, right, that their lives, if they didn't move, then the people who was coming behind them would not be able to move,
That part.
would not
Jesus.
have the access.
Mm.
We wouldn't have the right,
Mm.
some of the rights that we have today if
Mm.
they didn't do what they did. Look, Madam CJ Walker, thank you so much. I thank you for that. I thank you for what you did. To relax. I mean, I think there's a lot going on in the news about relaxing stuff. But
Ah.
the press and con, all of those, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Marian Anderson, you went and sang at the monument in DC, right? Breaking down barriers.
Mm.
Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X, right? It's a flip
Yes.
side to every coin, and people like to highlight the dark sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? If you look at all of us, everybody has some type of dark side. If
Yes.
we look at the word of God, there are men and women in the word of God who have a dark side,
I
but
mean,
God used them. So don't
listen,
allow
okay?
anybody. Listen.
Anytime you can speak the word of God and cut off somebody's ear, baby, and still be used by the Lord, listen.
So don't allow anybody to highlight your fault so much that you are stuck and you won't move forward.
That part.
Because allow those things to propel you forward and motivate you, not so much to make the other person look wrong or whatever, but for yourself, because there's somebody else that's counting on you to
Mm-hmm.
make the move. Sharon, somebody, instead of silencing your voice, right? Everybody
Mm-hmm.
else is talking, but you really have something good to say.
Mm. Mm.
So we
Mm.
need you to turn up the noise.
Mm.
Come off of mute. Come off of silence, Monet.
Mm.
Be intentional.
Yes.
Be visible and not invisible.
Mm.
Take up space in the earth.
Yes.
It's your time and it's your turn. And I'm here to tell you about it.
Mm.
Right? It's not, listen, it's when it's your turn, when you make it your turn. God has literally already opened up the ways, oh my goodness, the airways just for you, just for
Yes.
me, paving
Mm.
the way. But it's when I make a conscious decision that, you know what, I'm going to show up no matter what it takes. No
Mm.
matter what it looks like. Matter of fact, I'm not
That
going to
part.
allow my sight and limitations in my sight to
Mm.
stop me or block me.
That part. That part.
I'm going to put on the shades of Christ, right? Where my shades at? I don't even listen. I'm going to put on the mind. Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
In my business, I'm not going to compare myself to anybody else, but guess what? I'm going to just keep checking at it. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to
That
keep,
part.
right? If you're in your investor, your job, your job, right? It's your mindset that has to be shifted. And so, as I shared earlier, again, fix your mind and you'll fix your life. Is your
And
mind fixed? Go ahead, Lady T.
don't allow anyone to shackle you to something that the Lord has already forgiven you for. We are all human. We will all make mistakes. But a lot of times we don't move because people are shackling us to the thing, the choice, the decision, behaviors of our past. And the reality is that they don't have the power to shackle you to that thing, that person, that behavior, when the Lord has already forgiven you for it. If you talk to the Lord and you've repented and you've done all the work, they do not have the power to shackle you from something that the Lord has already freed you from.
It's good. My goodness. That's good. No more bondage. It's time to flow. Look, I just said, if there is no flow, I have to go.
Yes. And you said no bondage. And the crazy thing is, that is why mentally the slaves were free, because they may have had physical chains, but they knew that they were free here.
Speak,
They were
lady.
free here. They were free here. So that is exactly why every person, every civil rights activist could sit at a counter boldly and proudly and say, you're going to make me move because I'm not moving, because I deserve to be here just as much as you do.
Listen.
Because in their mind, they were not enslaved. They were not less than. There was no inequality, because I am equal to you. So they were already walking in their freedom. They just exercised it.
Say that one more time for the people in the back row.
They were already walking in their freedom. They just exercised it. Ooh. The crazy thing is that we're walking free, and a lot of us are enslaved.
Ooh. What has you enslaved? That's a real question, y'all. As much as I might chuckle, that's a real question. What has you enslaved? Is there anything that has you enslaved right now? Because right now on this broadcast tonight, it's your time to be free. It's no way that I can talk freedom and not walk it out. Exercise it. You said that thing. They had to see, freedom comes before it comes.
Yes. But a lot of people look at it as a thing to be attained. No, you already have it. You just got to walk it. You just got to walk in it.
What are... Ooh, that was good to me. Freedom comes before it comes. Again, it takes you taking a moment to assess so that you can access.
Yes.
Assess so that you can access. I gotta take these notes for myself. Woo! That's so good. Let's just sit on that real quick. Assess so that you can access. So many people are trying to access, right? And I spelled that right? I got that. Some people, so they're trying to access it, but they didn't assess your environment. You can't move forward if you have too much hanging on you from the past. Luggage, wrong friendships, wrong people.
Listen.
That they've showed you time and time again that they were not your friend.
You know,
they were not the ones.
A lot of us say a prayer like, oh, Lord, use me, Jesus. Use me, Jesus. I am available to you to be used. Lord,
Mm.
I want you to I want you to grow my gifting, God, so I can glorify you and magnify you. That whole prayer with unforgiveness in your heart. That whole prayer, but you're unable to give grace. So, in order for you to access the power of your gifting that the Lord has for you, in order for the Lord to be able to fully use you, that like you're praying for, you need to assess where you are first. Because if we have unforgiveness in our heart, or we are unwilling to give grace, or we're hard-hearted, we will never reach the fullness of our spiritual capacity. It, it won't work. It won't work.
Everybody, I hope that you are being enlightened tonight, that you are being transformed by the renewing of your mind, your mental, right? When we're talking about mental health, um, it's important. It's important when we're captivated or held captive in our mind, it can literally paralyze us.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a little bit, and I'm not a scientist, I'm not a therapist, I'm not my profession, but I know when God is speaking, through me. But I know by experience that when something is so heavy on your mind, it can literally paralyze you more than someone who may be paralyzed in the physical
Yes.
and feel like they're weighed down.
Yes.
Your body doesn't want to move. Like you can't even think another thought to get you to the next, thing. But you always have an opportunity to make an exchange. If you really, really want to move and you really, really want to flow, I'm an advocate of getting what you need so that you can succeed. And so if you need um, a mental health, a therapist, or if you need a coach, if you need a mentor, if you need a pastor, if you need, who do you need on your squad
Mm.
that's going to help you? If you need a friend, someone to talk to, who do you need? If you don't know, how will they come to you?
Mm.
But assess the moment. If you're not flowing right now, perhaps you are stuck. But guess what? There is hope.
Mm.
You don't have to be there or stay there.
Mm-mm.
I'm a witness.
Mm.
I used to feel so stuck, or as if something, was hopeless, or how da da da. But God flipped the script. But He flipped the script when I began to gain clarity and fixate my mind on the things that I want. But even the word said that He gives us the desires. So those desires, guess
Mm-hmm.
what? Didn't even come from me because He gave
That
them
part.
to me.
That part.
The ones that aligned with Him. And I had to let go the ones that clearly did not align. And if you say, I don't know which one, guess what? It'll become clear. But you have to start on the path
Mm-hmm.
of your purpose. I remember one day sitting at my cubicle and sitting at my desk at work, and I said, I literally had the prayer that God, there has to be something more than this. Excuse me, I done banged. It has to be. Inside of me, y'all, it was like this, something in me that was just wanting to burst out. And like, oh my goodness, it was like a me inside of me that was being held captive. And I said, there has to be something more. Has to be something more. I knew it was more. I started putting my mind on the more. But what I told God in the moment is that I said, God, I don't know how to get to the more. Can you show me how to get to the more? I did not know when I articulated that. And then it started when I put my mind on what I wanted. More could be more money, more could be more opportunities in business, more could be what is your more, right? But I wanted to be on a path of financial stability and financial freedom so that I can begin to build legacy for my family, my loved ones. I want to take, let me say, speak it out in the atmosphere even right now. I want to take money off the table as an issue in my life and when it comes to money. I do not want that to be a point of limitation to say me and my family can't have da 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 da, or I can't go there. I can't go there.
Yes.
Take it off the table. Does that make sense, Lady T?
It makes perfect sense.
That's what I wanted. And I said, God, I don't know how to get there, but I decree and declare that that's what I want. And I begin to put my mind on that. Little by little, once I identified what it is that I really wanted, he began to take me on a trajectory.
Because you have to see it before you can see it.
You have to see it before you see it. So my question today, ladies, for the people is, what are you seeing? What is in your view? What is in your view? And if what's in your view is not really what you want to see, then now go on Google, go on somewhere, type in what you want to see and get you a visual that aligns. And then you can ask the same question I asked God. But I don't know. This is what I want. I don't know the dots in the middle that's going to take me there. But I'm telling you that this is what I want. So I need you to help me and show me. If you put this in my heart, I know that you're going to give me the strategy. I know you're going to give me. I know if you allow me to see that I am going to be able to purchase many units in the whole shopping center where I can have a one-stop shop for people to come for resources, housing. They can come for all of these things so that they can connect the pieces of their lives. Then I know it's not too far-fetched. Now, let me insert. I believe, and y'all, I hope I'm not too loud for you, but I'm just a little passionate right now, that some of us, because I know it was me at once, is sometimes if I'm not doing what I need to do for my mental, right, I can fall back, right, in those thoughts. But some of us are thinking what you see and what you really want is too far-fetched.
You know, I heard this a while ago, and it stuck with me. If your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. Because the reality is that we like to shrink things because we're like, oh, if it's small, then God can manage that. Baby, let me tell you something. Our God is a God of exceedingly and abundantly. Exceedingly and abundantly. So if he is a God of exceedingly and abundantly,
come on,
he can do more than you could ever ask or imagine. It's in the word. And if it's in the word, you know it's tried and true because his promises are yes and amen. So if your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. Dream bigger. Dream bigger. Pray about it. Go into fasting about it. Be intentional about it, because the call that God has on our lives is bigger than what we can even see. It's bigger than what we see ourselves small, which is why I feel like a lot of us dream small.
Expand the dream.
Listen. And don't let lack of resources or lack of connections or all of the things be like, oh no, I don't know anybody. If it's his will, it's his bill, which means he'll send the resources, he'll send the connections, he'll send the location, he'll send you everything you need in divine time. Just dream big. Dream big. Because if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough.
Girl, let me tell you something, Lady T. I said, girl, listen, have me run. Like, it's like scary, like, wow, God, wow. Wow. And you said something when you start to say, I don't know anybody who did. You know what? Right. You don't know. You don't know.
Right.
But God knows.
Listen.
It's a song that we grew up on, the choir at church, the children's choir. Shout out to Sister Moore out there. It was Alpha and Omega, and it was, if you're going to dream it all, if you're going to why think small if you're going to dream it all. It was talking about dream big.
Yes.
Like, yes. I'm not gonna waste my dream on nothing small, right?
Listen.
If I'm going to do it, we going all the way in.
Okay. And if your experience with the Lord has been anything like my experience, it don't make sense. Okay. It don't add up. Not by our calculations, not by the human mind. Okay. It does not make sense. It sounds crazy. It looks crazy. It feels crazy. All the crazy. Okay. But one thing I will say, you take that step and the Lord will show you exactly how crazy he is. Okay. Because if you're just crazy enough to believe it, if you are just crazy enough to take that mustard seed size of faith and walk one step, I promise you that the Lord's crazy exceedingly and abundantly will meet you right where you're at. And you will have the connections. You will have the resources. You will have people hunting you down to give you money.
Hello? Scouting out, looking for you.
If you are just crazy enough to believe it.
And be willing enough to show up.
And I'm crazy enough. I'm crazy enough to believe it, and I'm willing enough to show up. Are you?
Listen.
Because
call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Call
me
say what you want to say. But I'm leaning in.
Listen, my God is too good and he's too faithful. And he's shown me too many times that all I have to be is just a tad bit crazy. So I'm going to keep being a tad bit crazy. That part. Yes, Mama Mo. God just want a yes. Okay.
He has everything else you need to bring it all together. Oh, come on.
You better tell them people, Mama Mo. You better tell them people.
Listen, if y'all haven't been blessed tonight, if y'all haven't been activated tonight, I know I have. This is the Sister Talk Power Move has shifted me. It has activated me and planted my feet in a place that I needed to be planted so that I can run the race that God has given me. Are you ready to run your race?
I am.
Tiara, Lady T said that God will do the rest. He will meet you where you are.
Listen.
But guess what? You have to be found in the right position, though.
Yes.
if you're in the wrong position where he was as opposed to where he is asking
Mm,
you to be, then I can't say that he's going to meet you right there.
listen.
Now he does meet us at the point of our needs, but we have to be obedient.
Hmm.
And so allow your obedience to move you into the rightful place. Because
Yes.
in your rightful place, there's authority. In your rightful place, there's resources. In
Mm,
your rightful place,
mm,
there is a overflow,
mhm. Listen. Listen.
abundance. Yes,
Jesus.
apostle, his will,
Mm,
his
mm-mm.
bill. But
Listen.
if you're not found in his will, how can he fill the
Mm,
place? How can he fill the void?
mm.
How can he give you abundance and overflow?
You, oh, Jesus. So you just said his will, and that just brought me back to when you said, when we were talking about fruit, right?
Yeah.
Let's just be very clear, okay? You can be very much in your own will and still bear fruit.
Mm.
Let's just be clear, okay? You can be very much in your own will and still bear fruit. However, when you are in the will of God, baby, the fruit that you bear is different, okay?
If you want exponential, if you
Mm,
want multiplication,
mm.
and you don't just want addition, and
Yeah,
you just don't want the
listen,
basics, okay?
listen, listen.
Then I want God's will. I don't want mine.
Because the reality is, we don't want just something, we want the God thing.
Listen, apostle, you speaking here. We want the God thing, Lady T, yes.
Because nothing else matters.
Nothing else
Because
matters.
it satisfies our flesh and not our spirit. So
Yeah.
it can be hard sometimes, waiting, being patient. But I can guarantee you that stillness that the Lord has you in, I can guarantee you that waiting season that the Lord has you in,
Mm.
it will all be worth it.
Mm.
Because God wastes nothing. So if he has you still, it is your job to figure out why you're still. And if you feel like you can't figure it out, then the only thing that you need to be doing is leaning into him. And that means reading your word, in prayer, fasting, being intentional about the time that you spend, protecting your ear gates and your eye gates.
Mm. This is so good.
Because there is someone that the Lord has in a still season, and you feel so uncomfortable.
Speak. Come on,
So,
speak up. Mm.
so uncomfortable to the point where you just feel like you about to be like, man, forget this. I'm about to go just do my own thing. I would advise you not to do that,
Yeah.
because you do not know how long you're going to delay your blessing that he has for you, and you don't know how close you are to it.
Mm. Well, ladies, gentlemen, I my cup is full to overflow. The salsa. Is your salsa getting blessed tonight? Because the nuggets, the things that we've talked about when we ask the question of how are you flowing right now? How are you fearlessly leveling up, overcoming and winning in your life right now?
Mm,
When we asked that earlier when we started, we see that some may be stuck or feel like a
mm,
sticky pad. Some might have assessed already so that they can access.
Mm, 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 mm.
Some of you may have said that you feel like you're enslaved,
Whew.
but we're decreeing and declaring right now that your freedom is already here, that
Yes,
your
Lord.
freedom has come
Mm,
before, because we said freedom comes before it comes.
mm,
It's your time to expand your dream, the
mm,
dream, your dream. Make it personal.
mm,
It's time for you to level up your thoughts, level
mm,
up in your mentality. As I said in my devotions today, I wrote this down. It said, fix your mind and you will fix your life.
mm,
And I'm going to leave you all with this tonight. Don't rob the world of who you truly are meant to be. When we don't flow, that means we don't go.
mm,
That means that we're stagnant, we're stuck.
mm, mm, mm,
That
mm.
means that we are robbing the world of who we truly were meant to be, purpose, birth into the earth to be.
Mhm.
As
Yes.
we're closing out tonight, I want to thank everyone who's who've joined us and came on tonight. Please spread the word if you've been blessed tonight.
Mm,
We're going to even sit in and assess so that we can access, because I know that when I take a SWOT analysis, right, of where I am, what are my
mm,
strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are my opportunities,
mm,
what are the threats. Some things are appearing like a threat, but they're really not. Don't let your power rest there. Take your power back,
mm,
because we are not going to allow these distractions, these things around us, to rob us of our joy, our peace, our sanity, so that we can stay on this trajectory
mm,
with hope, with love, with joy, with empowerment, so that we can become and walk in the fullness of who God has called us to be in the earth.
absolutely.
So I pray that you all have been blessed tonight and that you're walking away activated. Wow, Lady T, this was
Mm.
truly a flow.
It
And
was. It indeed was. Oh my goodness. The Lord is funny,
yeah.
honey.
So we thank you all. My. He always has a plan. He always has a plan and a purpose. Because I said, God, what do you want to say tonight? He was our special guest tonight. You all, we bring individuals on so that because we don't want to say, hey, go and do this and not connect you to the people, right? So, but tonight, God had a message just for you, and you. It wasn't by happenstance that you're here tonight. And so if you've been blessed, let us know. Continue to share the word with everyone else. Subscribe to our YouTube page, and stay connected with us. Stay connected with us. We'll be back here on Monday. You all, we are closing out February. We're going into the the last month of the first quarter, and it's Women's History Month. Wait a minute, yes, and yes. And so we are going to look, you all, Elevate You 2025. Woo! Where we are here to thrive. The whole woman experience will take place in Ocean City, Friday to Sunday, March the 21st through the 23rd. You all don't want to just like be home. You want to be in the room, ladies.
Yes,
So if you
indeed.
really want to be there, we do what? We make it happen. And so connect with me, and definitely let's elevate together. We have so many amazing other things going on. We have the Move newsletter. But again, stay connected with us. We love you all. Take care tonight. Take charge. Ladies, do you have any other words?
Y'all just be crazy enough. Just be crazy enough.
Get out your own way, out of your comfort zone. Yes, Apostle Catherine T. Parker, she said yes. Because we listen to the Elevate You, y'all. Listen, we're gonna try to come back and tell you a little bit, but you want to be in the room because it's an experience.
Yes.
But we love y'all. Ladies, are you excited?
I am. Can y'all tell? I am. Yeah, I am.
Y'all, that's our excitement. Listen, we are thrilled to curate this experience, not for me, but God alone. And when I tell you, it is definitely coming out your comfort zone and stepping on the water and like, all right, Lord, you got me out here. We ain't sinking, right? No, we not. So again, we thank you all, ladies. She said, if it doesn't make sense, then it's not. It's then it's
that part, Apostle. Okay, listen, y'all better be crazy enough. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all.
So if that's by the definition, then guess what? I feel like then I'm out here crazy. But it's crazy faith.
Yes.
Faith. And so I just thank God that I'm able to see it before I see it. And so we want you all to join in with us and stay connected. We pray that this has helped you to just take a moment to assess so that you can access and so that you can flow. And again, that's fearlessly level up, overcome, and win. This has been a flow and not a show. We thank you all for joining us. Take care, take charge, and God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
Yes.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.